Hello everybody, my name's Janine and welcome to my channel. So I decided to set up this channel to maybe build a community of friends who can talk about their cancer journey. So I have terminal cancer. My cancer is called leiomyosarcoma and it is one of the rarest sarcoma cancers. It's actually 1 in 5 million who actually get it, and it can spread quite quickly, unfortunately. I was diagnosed July of 2021. In November 2019, I started to get back pain. Back pain that was in the middle of my back. And I had had a partial nephrectomy, so I'd had a kidney removed. So I hadn't done anything to strain my back, but I was in quite a lot of pain. So I told my GP in the January after the pain obviously being there for 2 months, and then COVID started that year. So my GP didn't want to send me for any scans because I'm a kidney transplant recipient. So my immune system was already really low. So he didn't want to send me to the hospital for any tests or anything to see why I was having this back pain. And then in the June of 2020, my right arm it was in quite a bit of pain and I couldn't lift my arm all the way up. I could only lift it to here. So obviously that was not normal. So I rang my GP again and I'd explained that I was still having this back pain, but also my right arm was in a lot of pain and I couldn't lift it up. So I had a video consultation with a lady from physio. She was more concerned about my arm than what she was my back because obviously I couldn't lift it. But still, with COVID, I wasn't sent for any scans. So things were just left. In the October of 2020, me and my husband had quite a fallout, to the point where a week after we'd had a fallout, I decided to move to Coventry to give us some space, give us some time to try and appreciate one another again. In that time, with me moving back to Coventry, I started seeing the renal team at University Hospital. And it was actually a renal doctor who referred me for an ultrasound on my arm because it wasn't moving obviously and I couldn't lift it up. So it was actually a renal doctor who referred me for that. So I had an ultrasound in the November of 2020. The ultrasound showed that my arm socket, shoulder and arm bone was abnormal in shape. So I went to see a bone doctor at University Hospital and she said it did look very abnormal. We needed to do further tests. She believed it was a cancer, but we didn't know what type of cancer, so we needed to do further tests. So I was referred to the Royal Orthopaedic, where I met a surgeon called Mr. Morris, and he was brilliant. When we first did the scan on my shoulder, arm and socket on the right side, he knew it was a cancer, but he wasn't sure if it was a lymphoma or a sarcoma cancer. So we was to do a biopsy to find out what type of cancer it was. I had my first biopsy at the Royal Orthopaedic in the April of 2021. Unfortunately, they didn't take enough the first time or the second time, which meant that I had to have a third biopsy done, which was done at the end of May. So there was a delay in diagnosis here with that, which was really, really hard. It felt like such a long time and it was just obviously something I just needed to know. But unfortunately there was a delay. But me, my husband at the time, our son and his friend went away for the weekend in July for our son's birthday. When I got back that weekend, I had a letter. It was a copied letter from an MDT meeting that Mr. Morris had with a Dr. Sheriff who works at the QE. She's an oncologist, and it said in the letter that I would benefit from palliative chemo. Now, I wasn't told yet that my cancer was terminal, but from reading that, I know. And I had to wait a week well, I had to wait 5 days before meeting Dr. Sheriff. So it was really, really horrible 5 days wait to meet with Dr. Sheriff. So I met with Dr. Sheriff and Macmillan nurse Sarah Evans at the QE, and they were amazing. They were brilliant. Because COVID was still around, I didn't take anybody with me to these appointments, so I'd gone to all these appointments on my own. It was quite scary. So where my primary cancer started, it was in my uterus, which I didn't actually find out until this time last year, so July of last year. But I started chemotherapy in the August of 2021. The chemo that I had is a very low dose of doxorubicin. Now, because I'm a kidney transplant recipient, we've obviously got to look after my new kidney as well, and my immune system was already suppressed due to my immune suppressant medication to keep my kidney alive. So, yeah. So in the August, I decided to shave all my hair off, where I will insert a clip. So I did a thing today. I cut all my hair off, and you know what? I feel f***ing for doing it. All of my journey is on my TikTok, which I will link below. But my own hair had started falling out about 3 weeks after I had started chemotherapy. But I was so glad that I shaved it off when I did. And to this day, I still shave my head now. At the beginning, I did think I was going to hate it, and it was going to make me really sad and emotional, and probably not like the way I look. But obviously that is like the last thing on your mind when you're going through chemotherapy and you've just been told that you've got cancer. And it felt really good to just cut it off, and I wished I had done it sooner. So yeah, it feels good. I can't remember how many rounds of chemo I had, but I was having chemo every 3 weeks at the QE. So I live in Coventry, so I can get hospital transport from my house to the QE and then hospital transport back, which has been amazing. I was having chemotherapy every 3 weeks up until just before Christmas, and I had a scan at the beginning of the year, and I haven't had chemo since December because my cancer has been stable, which is great. So it's just the dreaded wait now till Friday. It's now Sunday, the 3rd of July, and I've got my appointment on the 8th. So I will see Dr. Sheriff on the 8th, and I'll find out what is going on, if my cancer has grown, if I need to start chemotherapy again anytime soon. I'll be sharing my story here on YouTube, so any further tests, any scans, any appointments, I will start doing a little vlog and posting it up here on YouTube. I've had so much support on TikTok, it's been amazing. I've made so many friends. I've met so many other cancer warriors through TikTok. And I thought, why not do YouTube as well? I always used to watch YouTube before, like I used to watch so many YouTubers who really have been so inspiring, and I hope that I can do that to for others. If I can inspire anyone, if I can help anyone in any way with any questions or any worries about chemo or radiotherapy, where I get my wigs from or anything, I would love to be able to help. Thankfully at the minute I can still walk around. My mobility is definitely getting worse though. So whilst I can still get up and move around, I thought I'm definitely going to start my YouTube journey now, because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how I will be this time next year, if I will still be here this time next year. But whilst I am here, I hope to help others with in their cancer journey, or be a support to anybody who is caring for somebody with cancer. So when I'm walking, I'm quite anxious on my feet, and have been for a few months now. I'm definitely a bit more wary of like how I'm moving. So yeah, it's not good. You've been able to walk your whole life, and I can just tell that my mobility is not great. So I think with doing YouTube, I think it will definitely show how I change, how I progress, and if I can help anybody along the way, that's why I'm going to be doing this. So as I said, I'm a kidney transplant recipient. I found out I had kidney problems when I was pregnant with my son, who is going to be 12 years old in 3 days. So I found out I had CKD, and I had to have an emergency C-section the next day. So he was born at 35 weeks. My kidneys were fine for about 5 years. And then in 2015, my kidney function had started to deteriorate. So my kidney function at the time was 28%, and it was deteriorating quite quickly. And I had my kidney transplant in 2018, and my kidney function went from 7% to 65%. It has been a massive roller coaster since, especially in the first 12 months after my transplant. So I was having so many infections, I had so many UTIs, I had sepsis twice, I had E. coli infection twice, I had C. diff twice. If you don't know what C. diff is, you don't want to know. But yeah, it's been a roller coaster, and the hard thing is that my transplant medication, the mycophenolate, actually caused my cancer. So mycophenolate, being like immune suppressant medication to help my kidney survive, had a big impact on my cancer. So yeah, it's not great. So I stopped taking that mycophenolate medication in April of 2021. And I haven't had it since, but my kidney is still going strong. It's still functioning quite well. It's around 40 to 45%. So yeah, I'm still doing really well with my kidney. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I'm not the best at talking. I don't think I'm going to be a great vlogger either, but I definitely just want to be able to be there and support anybody who is going through cancer or knows of anybody going through cancer. It's not easy, and I definitely have found that TikTok has helped with my mental health, and it's really helped get me through some really tough times, just having people to talk to. So yeah, I really appreciate the support of anybody who follows, anybody who I can support and follow just through these difficult times. So I really appreciate you watching these videos, and yeah, it really does mean a lot, guys, so thank you so much. So if you'd like to go check out my TikTok, I will link it below. But yeah, thank you so much, and it'd be great to meet you all. Please comment, let me know who you are. It'd be nice to chat to you. If you have any questions, please leave a question and I will answer it as quickly as I can. But thank you so much for following and supporting. I hope to raise as much awareness as I can for leiomyosarcoma and share your journey with me. So yeah, it's lovely to meet you all.